Hello and happy Valentine's Day. I can't believe yesterday we had a power outage, and so this live is a day late. But I'm so happy that we can celebrate Valentine's Day together. Hello, and let me start by asking you a couple questions. First, what is your future plan? Are you looking for building a family someday? What is your hope for being happy in your future? Do you want to fall in love? Do you want to be happy? These are real questions that every person works on in their life. No matter how much we study English, we always want to have great relationships. So today, for this Valentine's Day lesson, we're going to talk about some phrases and go through a number of expressions to talk more about human relationships and love. I'm also going to share some stories from my own life, and maybe you'll laugh, maybe you'll cry. I'm not sure. I think I have laughed and cried both throughout the years about love. So we're also going to think about some of the customs for Valentine's Day. And basically, we're going to thank God that my life didn't end in a disaster, but it seems like it's turned out quite well. So as we get started, let me just remind you, please subscribe to this YouTube channel, and where I will continue to provide English lessons for you to become a stronger English speaker to reach your dreams for your future using English. So, relationships are so important, aren't they? Families are very important, and love in the family is key to having happiness. When I was a college student, I dreamed about that day when I would get married and I would have a family. I was excited when I thought about this dream. I wanted to have a wonderful wife and family and live together in the future happily ever after. I wanted to be happy. This is the promise of Valentine's Day, isn't it? That you fall in love and you live happily ever after. Being together with the right person and being happy makes life so wonderful. It's just like the movies, right? Well, I want to share some expressions with you today, but let me tell you just a little bit about my story let's share a couple pics here. So let's see here. So the first question that I told you about was what my ideal family would be like, happy and living a long time together with a good family. What about you? This is something we'll talk about a little later, but think about it in the back of your mind. And as you are listening to today's Valentine's lesson, make some notes in the chat box. I'd love to hear your ideas to these questions. But long ago, when we were so young and cute, we took pictures. The pictures were not good back then, but that's who we were. That's me, the guy who looks so young, and one of those young ladies is Mika. I wonder if you know which one she is. Can you tell? Well, she's this cute one right here on this side. And it was a special festival that they were going to. Let's make that a little bigger just in case you want to see it. So, yes, long ago, we met each other in graduate school working on a master's degree. And, it's funny because I was a very shy person. I was nervous about relationships. And to be honest with you, I actually was afraid of being rejected. And so I was always careful. So what do you do when you're careful? You say things like, let's just be friends. I remember writing a letter to her because we had started becoming friends. And I wrote a letter to her telling her, let's just be friends. Please don't misunderstand that I am trying to have a love relationship with you. It was a rather proud thing for me to do, thinking that she would think otherwise. And she responded in that way. She said, well, of course. What else is there? And of course, I thought, deep in my heart, I was thinking, is this what I really want? Just friends, or do I want more? The truth is, there are a lot of things that I wanted out of the friendship, and even more. You know, real life is different than the perfect movie scene, isn't it? I was afraid, and so I was careful, and I asked just to be friends. It felt safe, and you know, it really kind of kept me from getting my heart broken, I suppose. There are some phrases that we should learn as we go. Before I was going to start a relationship, I wanted to hear people say to me, that special person, I love you. You are handsome. I want to live with you forever. And not only did I want to hear that, I wanted to speak loving words to that special person. I wanted to say things like, you are beautiful. And the word beautiful can be replaced with many different words like, you are gorgeous. You are attractive. You are stunning. You are cute. These phrases are phrases that I wanted to be able to say to that special person. Other ways to say things like this are, you look really nice. You look great. And of course, thinking about Valentine's, the ultimate question is, will you be my Valentine? My Valentine. You could also say, will you be mine? Mine is a great way to express a request to be together in a relationship. So I could have said all of those things, but I was too scared and too shy. And so I just said, let's just be friends. Is that crazy? I think it was a little crazy. I didn't want to have my heart broken. To have your heart broken means that you are rejected and you feel sad about it. So we say, he had his heart broken after they broke up. Things like that. So the truth is, our friendship grew and we became better and better friends. And finally, as she was finishing her master's degree, I finished just a little bit before her, but as she was finishing her master's degree, I got in touch with her and I said, would you consider a future together with me? Can we think about a future together? Well, as a guy, I don't always understand the right timing of things. And so she said, Jerry, I am about to take my final exams for my master's degree. These comprehensive exams are so important, and I want to be able to pass them. So let me think about this later. Of course, she was shocked to hear such a question. She said, I don't know. Jerry, focusing on my comprehensive exams is more important right now. And then after I finished that, you know, my plans are to go to a university in China and teach English. Her master's was in teaching English also. I had always been preparing for going to Japan, and she was preparing to go to China. These are two separate countries, and they are not so easy to communicate from, especially back then. So I had no safety. I felt quite scared about how it really would turn out, because she was going in one direction and I was going in the other. In fact, when you open up your heart with your love, your desire, it's like putting your heart on your sleeve or wearing your heart on your sleeve. I was wearing my heart on my sleeve by sharing my deepest emotions. But after I heard this news that she had no idea about the future, of course, I had a heavy heart. To have a heavy heart means to feel sad and worried about how things will go. To have a heavy heart. Well, she finished her master's degree. She went to China and taught in a university there. I did a great job as a teacher. She's a great teacher. I went to Japan and I started teaching English in Japan. And I learned so much about the culture and tried to learn the language. It was a great experience. But we were having a long distance relationship, a long distance relationship. And now everything is so easy to communicate, but back then it wasn't. In fact, back then there was no email, there was no social media, there was no texting on the phone to each other. We had to write letters by hand on paper with pencil and pen and send it by the postal service. And it took a long time. It took about 17 days for one way and then another 17 days for it to come back. Long distance relationships they're hard. They're so hard. And you never know if it's going to last because you can't really be together in the same way. Paper and pencil have benefits, but it's not always that easy. In fact, I'm sure she wondered at times, and I almost had a change of heart too. But after 1 year of teaching in China, she decided not to renew her contract and returned to Japan, where we were able to communicate by phone again. It was wonderful. And in fact, we started thinking about a future together. So I guess I can say she did have a change of heart. Well, I was teaching in the northern part. She was teaching in the western part. And finally, I had a chance to take a vacation. And so I took a vacation and went to visit her. And we met for the first time in about 2 years at the train station in her hometown in Japan. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to act. I was trying to be culturally appropriate. And I didn't even greet her with a hug. Boy, that was awkward, wasn't it? Awkward. I was trying to be cool, I suppose, or culturally appropriate, I suppose. But now that I think back about it, it was so silly. Our relationship kept growing from there on. Our friendship and love grew and grew. And, we were thinking about how to prepare for our future. And so I decided it was time to propose. Now, there is a question here in my sharing of this lesson. What could happen at Wakayama Castle? Well, that was where I wanted to propose. We first went out to a nice dinner at a restaurant, and then we walked over into the beautiful garden area of the Wakayama Castle. It was the perfect place in my mind, but I have to tell you a secret. There was a long-standing superstition, a belief in that town that anybody who asks to get married at the Wakayama Castle will be cursed and have a divorce in their future. I didn't know that, but she did. And so she was totally shocked to be asked to get married at the Wakayama Castle. And one other thing about this proposal is that this castle is nearby to a little zoo. And that night was a special night with a soft wind blowing, cool, rather cold actually. The wind was blowing up toward us from the zoo. And to be honest, the smell wasn't good. So now that I remember back, we avoided disaster somehow, but we were cursed to be divorced and we had to smell the smell of the animals. That was the proposal. However, once you decide you want to get married, you always want to be sure to ask permission from the mother because father had passed away years before. So I needed to ask her mother about getting married to her daughter. We went to a nice coffee shop and then enjoyed coffee together, and I raised the question. I told her mother that I was interested in getting married and we would like to get married, spend our life together. And so her first question to me, can you imagine? How much money do you have? It's It's a good question from a parent, but it's not a question that I had been thinking about. To be honest, I didn't have much money. I had saved about $1,000, which is really a joke if you're preparing to get married. That's not enough money to even buy an airplane ticket. And so we avoided disaster somehow again, but we set ourselves up for who knows, we could have never made it. But she said yes, and she supported us in so many ways. And I just have to say, there are so many reasons that our relationship might not have worked, but it did. And in fact, over the years, when we were very young, we started out with dreams and hopes of living our life together and being happy. And we also started to grow a family. Don't we look young there? He's such a big boy now. He's an adult. We were younger and cuter too. And so in time, we grew our life, and it has finally already come 23 years or a little more. You know what? Just wait just a minute. I want to do something special. Don't go anywhere. Let's see if I can call her in. Nika, are you here? Can you come here for a minute?
Yeah.
Can you come? You got a minute? Oh, hey.
What are you doing?
I'm having a YouTube Live, and I'm celebrating Valentine's Day.
Oh my gosh. You're on live?
I am on live, and you know,
Oh my gosh.
I wanted
Hey
to
guys.
say, I wanted to say Happy Valentine's Day today.
Oh.
You have one of our babies, and you know, I like to grow flowers, so I prepared a Valentine's flower for you today. This is for you. Happy Valentine's Day.
Oh, nice. How nice. Thank you. Happy Valentine's
Day.
Wow. So you guys are talking about...
We're talking about Valentine's Day and learning a few expressions, but mostly I'm telling them about my near disaster stories, how I made so many mistakes through the years. So anyway, so that's the story I wanted to share today. Let's go over.
Giving them the stories from...
I gave some stories.
From like 25 years ago?
I told them everything.
Gosh. Wow. You heard them. Well.
Yes. Anyway, this is my Valentine, and we have made it for many years. Thank you for sharing in this encouragement with me. There are a few phrases that I want to tell you about that we talked about in this lesson. So let's go through them real quickly. Oh yes, this is more up to date. This is what we look like now. So the phrases we learned were, I love you. You are handsome. I want to live with you forever. You are beautiful. You are gorgeous. You are stunning. You are really cute. You look really nice. Will you be my Valentine? We also use these phrases. Let's just be friends. But be careful with that one. That one really you should be more honest about. To have your heart broken. To have your heart broken means that you lose something, you're rejected, and you feel so sad. To wear your heart on your sleeve. This means that you openly share your emotions, even at the risk of being rejected. We also have to have a heavy heart. When people have a heavy heart, it's usually after a very sad experience. And a long distance relationship. A long distance relationship. A couple other phrases that we talked about are to have a change in heart, to propose, which is to ask someone to get married, and to have your heart in the right place. When I had the conversation with Mika's mother, it was difficult because I had no money for a future, but my heart was in the right place. We weren't getting married because we wanted to be successful and rich. We got married because we loved each other. All right. And those are the expressions that we learned in this lesson. And I wonder if there are some comments that we can talk about. I see. Thank you so much for sharing today. Hello. Welcome. Hi. Do you want to add any comments in the chat where you're watching from? Are you watching from Uzbekistan today? Thank you so much for joining. Where is my friend from India? Are you joining today? I don't see your comment yet, but I'm sure you're connecting if you can. Any friends from Saudi Arabia joining? And Japan, are you there today? Well, let me say thanks so much for joining. And today, because of the power outage yesterday, we having this live a day later. And we're also going to have our Zoom talk in just a few minutes. So if you have received the information about that, come join the Zoom talk as well. I look forward to seeing you in about 30 minutes. We're going to practice these expressions and give some other stories where we can learn more about cultural customs for Valentine's Day and learn more about healthy relationships. So come join. 30 minutes from now, we'll be in the Zoom talk. Before we close, I want to say thanks so much for watching. I'm always happy to work with you and support you in your English language journey. I would be so happy if you would subscribe to this channel. And I would also love to follow you and you follow me as we get to know each other for some real conversations on Instagram. So if you would like to join on Instagram as well, I'd love to interact with you and get to know you more. So again, thank you for joining in our conversation about Valentine's Day. I wish you a very happy Valentine's Day. And thank you for listening to my silly stories of my love life for all these years together with Mika. It's been great. And I hope we have many, many, many more. All right. Thank you so much. I will see you again soon. Happy Valentine's Day.